There we go. So whether times are tough or not, we should have a clear vision for our businesses, and you should have a clear vision for your business. So the very first question is, do you have a vision that is clear and concise for your business? And if you've had that vision for a while, now that things may not have been going the way you expected them to go, have you stopped to review that vision for the business? Have you reassessed the applicability of that vision? Because that's where the mistake is often made. You may have had a particular vision and you were heading a particular way, and that vision was informed by certain realities that you experience. But if those realities no longer exist, then it's important that you take a step back and review your strategy, review your goals, review the vision, and make the necessary adjustments. Now, it may mean that you maintain the vision, but you have to adjust the strategy. It may mean that the wise thing to do is to adjust the goal as far as the vision that you're working towards. So what is it that you're working towards in your business? That needs to be clear. When the vision is clear, you often will not adjust it. What you will adjust is the strategy, but it's important to review the vision. The vision for the business and the vision for yourself. Your own personal vision, because if you're anything like me, you're in business, but you expect the business to provide a certain lifestyle for you. So what is the lifestyle that you want for yourself? And what kind of business must you build that will afford you that lifestyle? Now, here's the thing. There are also many persons who look at the current realities and allow these current realities to stop them from really casting the big vision. And I want to let you know tonight that irregardless of what the realities look like in your environment, nothing should stop you from truly setting out for what you want. We're going to get to the strategy part, but this is important. And the reason you may not be going for the big vision and the big goals is you don't know how to get there. And you may have tried and you got burned, you failed a few times like myself. Maybe more than 6, maybe less than 6. I can guarantee you that I'm going to fail a lot more than 6 over the course of my business journey. But if you fail, it doesn't mean that you can't still cast a big vision. It doesn't mean that you can't still pursue a big goal. So if you failed once, twice, thrice, 5 times, 7 times, what's important as you learn from each experience, acquire the necessary skill sets and the necessary information that will allow you to go out and do big things. So if you are not setting a big goal for yourself and your business, and you're looking at the current environment to hold you down, as the evidence that things are not good, I want to challenge you tonight to change that. I want to challenge you to spend some time asking yourself, what do you really want for your business? What do you really want? And why? Why do you want it? Anybody can want to create $100,000, $200,000, $1 million, $10 million. But why? What is it going to do for you? What is your income target going to do for you? Now, if you're one of those who's been thinking, okay, even if I have a big vision, how do I sell more? How do I get customers? The economy is bad and all of that. Yeah, we're not excusing the fact that economies all around the world, and for those of us in Liberia or in many African countries, it might even be worse than in other parts of the world. There's no excuse to that. But does it mean that you allow it to stop you from making progress? No. You keep fighting, you keep moving, you keep pressing on, and you keep falling and you keep getting back up. That's what entrepreneurs do. We don't sit and fold our hands. We don't take our tails and put it between our legs like a scared dog. No. We're fighters, we're movers, we're shakers, we're creators, we're problem solvers. So when the economy is bad, what we're expected to be doing is be looking around for what the problems are and what the complaints are, and we need to start finding solutions. So while the creditors may be calling and hounding you because you've not paid up your debt, or maybe you've not cleared your vendors yet because some of your clients or customers haven't paid you yet, even while navigating all that, you still have an obligation as now. Obligation is a different, okay, so I use the word obligation, but it's a choice. You still you choose to be an entrepreneur, and by making that choice to be an entrepreneur, what you are committing to is providing solutions to problems for handsome financial rewards. So you cannot say you're a business person, you cannot say you're an entrepreneur, and you cop out, you fold at the sign of the very first challenge. You're not even expected to fold at the 10th challenge. So get that at the back of your mind, that you're in this for the long haul. And get back to reorganizing your goal and setting big goals again and adjusting the timelines. You know, my mentor says there's really no unrealistic goals, only unrealistic timelines. So what you might need to do if you set out to accomplish, X by 2022, or 2023, and now things are looking different, and maybe you need to adjust the timeline and adjust your strategy. But the goal is never unrealistic. Now, some goals cannot be attained in certain environments. I've also learned that. I've come to learn that you cannot pursue certain goals while in certain environments, because the environment does not support the acquisition or the attainment of that goal. So then you adjust your goal to accommodate for the environment that you find yourself in, using it as a stepping stone to get to the right environment where you can now pursue the proper version of the goal. So creating rapid breakthrough in your business begins first and foremost by thinking, accepting the current realities, and making the necessary adjustments as far as timeline, strategy. Because here's what's happening. When you have a timeline that is inconsistent with the current realities, then of course you feel down, you feel bad about yourself, you feel incompetent, incapacitated. But when you come and you accept the fact that, you know what, the timelines are off, things do not support the current timelines, therefore I'm adjusting my timelines, then you empower yourself. But if you've set a timeline that does not seem possible and you're not attending it, then you become stressed. You start to live in fear. There's anxiety, there's tension, and you're trying to force things to happen. And things do not happen when you're trying to force them to happen. So adjust your goals, adjust your timelines, adjust your strategy, maintain your big vision. Now let's talk about how do we increase sales revenue? Because ultimately that's a key determinant of progress in business. Sometimes it may mean that you have to adjust your offering. Whatever it is that you're selling, if you had it in bigger packages, maybe because the economy is different, you have to reduce the packages. Maybe you have to adjust your payment structure. It might be that you have to adjust your profit margin. You may have to start thinking in making, the low-hanging fruits, making smaller sales with more frequency compared to trying to go for bigger sales that are few and far between. Because here's the thing, wealthy people are very, very cautious of how they spend money, even in regular economies. But the moment the economy starts to get bad, the rich folks who actually earn their wealth are even more cautious when it comes to spending. So if you sell, and maybe you're in the luxury market, or you sell to high-end, income earners, high income earners, they're still going to spend money, but they're not going to spend as freely as they did before. And guess what? Even when the economy, and I want to emphasize this, because even when the economy is great, truly wealthy people who've earned their way up learn proper financial management along the way. And so they are very careful on their spending. They choose their expenses wisely. They budget for everything. That's in a good economy. So when the economy is bad, you can bet that they are even more critical as to their spending. In those times, they're concerned about making good investments that will yield great returns when the market rebounds. Because when the market is high and you've got cash, you're the one who's now got leverage. And so when the markets are bad, folks with cash, folks with money determine the prices, they determine how much you're going to pay for certain things, and they have more control. And so wealthy folks will be keen on how they spend their money such that they have monies to invest. So if you're selling something and you're selling to high-end folks, you need to be able to find a way to position, and generally to anybody, you've got to be able to find a way to position what you have in a way that attracts the attention of your target consumer of that service or product. Restaurants might have to reduce their portions so as to reduce their prices. And that goes to many other services. Hotels may have to adjust their prices so as to maintain higher occupancies. Sometimes you may not need to drop your prices. You may have to maintain your prices, but you now increase the offering or modify the offering to make it more attractive. So the kind of offer that you're going to make that will bring in more sales depends on who you're selling to, and the means of delivery, and what kind of impact, or what need is your product or service meeting. But when all of that is carefully thought out, and if you need some support in repackaging your offer currently, given the kind of markets that we find ourselves in globally, then that's a conversation I will be willing to have with you. But when all of that is said, here are some things you can do to significantly increase your sales. So, the first thing you want to do is you want to connect. Once you know who you are serving, which you will know if you've planned your business right, when the market is high, people are not naturally thinking about spending money. So then it becomes important for you to pick up the phone and call your old customers, call your old clients, check in with them, not calling them to make a sale, because that's what everybody else may think of doing when they call their customers. You want to make a sale, but that's not the thing. You're in a relationship business. No matter what you do, the moment you realize that you're in a relationship business and your job is to first maintain good relationships with your customers, then you open the doors for other things, for more business. So the first thing is to just connect with your past customers or the people in your network who may not have even been customers, the people you know. It is important to check in with people right now because times are tough. And some people will just appreciate getting a call from somebody who cares about them. And when you can check in, pick up the phone and check in with a potential client, or send a message. Now, the message is, what is a LinkedIn or Facebook message? Those are a little more impersonal, but they still work. They still work. You can check in with LinkedIn, use LinkedIn to check in with people in your network. Use Facebook to check in with people in your network. Hopefully, these are people that you actually know. And even if you don't know them, there's a way to check with them. Recently, I checked in with folks on LinkedIn who I may not have interacted with personally, but they were in my first and second degree connections, or they are because I'm still reaching out. So that's the connection part of it. You connect and see how people are doing. And in the conversation, if these are people you know, you can easily say, hey, so, once you've got an update, you can bring in your own share. Listen, business is doing good. The restaurant is doing great, or, the company is doing good, or we're managing things have not been the way they're supposed to be, but we're making sense. By the way, we've made some adjustment to our prices, or we've made some adjustment to our offers. And this is now who do you know that this may be of service to? And then the conversation begins from there. So whether that person knows somebody or that person themselves is interested in your upgraded or revised service, the next thing is to invite them to have a specific conversation about that. Remember, this conversation that you have is a connection conversation. It's not the place to try to get a customer. It's simply to connect with them, and then you invite them to another conversation this time around, where you get to understand a little bit more about what they want and if you actually are the one who can serve them. And then maybe you provide some sample service for them to see, or a sample product for them to experience. So now you've done that, you connect. Let me see, how can I adjust this? All right. You connect, then you invite. So if this process looks familiar to you, it's because I learned this from my coach, in the book, The Prosperous Coach. And even though it was something that it's a system that we learned in building our coaching businesses, but it applies. I've used this in every other business: connect, invite, serve, and then propose. And I've added a fifth one: collect. So you connect with people, you check in and see how they're doing, you find out what their challenges are, you inform them of your updates, about your service, and ask who they know or if themselves. and then you invite people to have an experience. So if I'm selling my training services, which is what I do, I've connected out to people and I invite them to an online experience with me, or I offer a 1 hour session with the company. So that I invite them to invite me to come and experience what they have to offer. And once that invitation is accepted, what you want to do next is to serve. So let me move this up here. Good. Serving means giving the customer or the client the opportunity to experience what you have to offer. So one of my newest offers is a legacy writing offer. And the way we do is when we connect, we invite people to experience our process by us doing the first chapter for them at no cost. Because it's a new service, we don't have that many that many testimonials yet. We connect, we invite, and then we do your first chapter with you using our process. And once you've experienced that, then we can offer you we propose to serve you fully, or we make an offer, and then we collect payment, down payment, or whatever the case is. This is not it's not a complicated process. It involves work, but it's simple, because all you need to do is to identify the people you need to reach out to, and reach out to them, pick up the phone, reach out to them. And if you have to send an email, send a personal email, and some will respond and some will respond. And those who will respond, invite them to a conversation about what you're doing. So the connection is checking in. You're going to get some, response. You go back and forth a little bit. Sometimes the connect is you send an email, they respond, and then you do your first invite into a short conversation where it's still part of the connection process. It is after that when you've established that you have something to offer them, or they know somebody who can benefit from what you have to offer, then you go on to the next step of inviting them to experience your service. And that's where you serve them without any condition. You serve them powerfully, whether it's making a free object for them as a carpenter, or it's doing a free schematics as an electrician, or is interviewing them and writing the first chapter as a ghostwriter, or is designing the first page, the landing page of their website as a web designer. Whatever it is, serve them, provide some basic value for them to experience you, even if they've known you. And once you've provided that offer and they approve of it, they love it, they like it, then you can offer them a full package. And if they accept it, you collect your payment. Now, if you repeat this process consistently, I guarantee you, irregardless of how the market is, things are going to fall in place. You may have to work a little harder. You may have to put in a little more hours than usual, but that's the cost we pay. That's the price we pay for being who we are. Because there are times where you won't have to work as much and the systems will be running and you'll be getting paid. Connect, invite, serve, offer, collect. Do this enough times and you'll have cash coming into your business, no matter what it is that you sell. If you want personal support in how we can implement this system into your business, whether you sell clothes, personal effects, well, clothes is personal effects, food, electronics, whether you provide service, it does not matter what you provide. This system can bring you new customers and clients. So if you need to raise money in your business quickly, then let's find a way to serve more people in that business. Let's work together to identify the challenges your potential customers are facing, and let's see how we can position the business to solve those challenges at an affordable price for them, but in a way that still brings you significant profit, because there are ways to do that. Until we meet next Sunday, God's willing, my name is Dan Maxwell Jr., signing out on the Rapid Business Breakthrough Masterclass. Cheers.